what's today all about? We're going to talk about introducing yourself, and I know this can be one of the more tricky problems. Now, if you have followed me for a while, you know I'm a big proponent of having a bite-sized one-sentence descriptor of yourself, one-sentence elevator pitch, the real snappy and punchy, super fast things you can use at networking events, things just a way to say, hello, I'm kind of thing, headlines on your LinkedIn profile. And then you've got the other side of the coin where employers want you to, or somebody wants you to talk about yourself, and they ask you to what? Walk me through your resume, tell me about yourself, those responses that can get quite lengthy, not to mention complicated. But there's something in between where you score major points by bringing out the most important elements of you as it relates to someone else. So introducing yourself is actually not really about you, as weird as that sounds. It's about, to do it effectively, that is, you certainly can talk about yourself if you want. I just don't think it flies over well. But when you want to make an impact on a company, it's about highlighting the things about you that match what it is they need, right, in a job candidate, in an employee, future employee, but also you're doing it so that you're making an impression, building rapport, and you're leaving them the breadcrumbs you want them to hang on to, because you're about to say a bunch of stuff about yourself. It's really hard for people to remember, right? And it's not that people have bad memories. It's a combination of them not being focused, them not being attentive, them being distracted by all the other work they're doing, right? Their deadlines, their customers, their bosses. And so it's very difficult to capture and keep someone's attention, and you definitely want to do it at the beginning. So what I've done, actually last month in May, I don't know when you're watching this recording, but in May, I decided to have a session with members of my job search coaching program. We call them the boot campers, where I thought, you know, I was getting this question so much about in my one-on-one coaching sessions with some of these members, where they were saying it's really hard for me to figure out what to say up front. So I never really thought about it, right? It was natural to me of what to communicate. So I sat down, I reverse engineered a formula, I gave it to them, and then what I did was I taught them the structure, and then we did a bunch of hot seats where I said, okay, give me your resume right in the session. We pulled you up on camera, and I said, okay, I'm going to blitz through your resume. I'm going to tell you what I see, right? Just feedback, what's registering, and then if I were you, how would I actually introduce you? We're going to do that today for you guys. I thought it's just such a great lesson to be sharing with the public, and I want everybody to be able to make sure that they can introduce themselves. So here's the reverse engineered formula. It's going to sound really awkward as we go through it because it's really weird because we're breaking it up into the messages that you want to say. All right, let's do it. Who's with me? Who's with me? Who is pumped for this? Before I start flashing cards, can you guys tell me how excited are you? Let me see it in the chat. And as a matter of fact, go in the chat and do me a favor and tell me what your biggest struggle is in introducing yourself. Let's see if I address it today. Okay, number one. I got note cards today. We got some resumes too. All right, I'm a what? Now, you can put whatever you want in here, but I would argue that all of us have a verb-noun combo or a noun-verb combo that actually describes us. I'm Andy. I coach people, right? I'm a career coach. I'm a whatever. It could be a function. I'm a marketing executive. I'm corporate counsel. I'm the head legal capo de capo of whatever. I'm the chief marketing officer. I'm a chief marketing officer. Whatever you want to say, but it's got to be something that makes me remember, oh, that's what you do. It's not necessarily what you're called. Remember, this is an intro. It's about who you are. All right, that's the first thing. So that's not too tough. All right, well, you know I always like to start with the warm-ups. All right, the second part that you got to get out is, why do you even matter? What do you transform? This is about the who you are, and what is it that you do that makes this world a better place? So while I'm a career coach, I help people find jobs. I help people find jobs and thrive in them. I help people find jobs and get paid what they deserve. Something like that, right? So I'm a whatever who helps or builds or develops or whatever people, companies, communities, but there is some entity that benefits from your existence. It makes no difference what you do. Now, what we're going to do, now we're in step 2, and you might be thinking, well, Andy, hang on, you're going to give me a bunch of cards. I got to remember all this stuff. Don't you worry. This is an Andy talk. I have a slide for you, and I'm going to give you all the quick intro short sentences for you to fill in. And if you're already a member of my job search coaching program, I have a whole booklet for you with the sentences and the samples and the things of that nature. So this is about getting to the heart of what you do and who benefits as a result. And so this is the second piece you want to get in there. Whatever it is that you do, I help companies grow their revenue. I help organizations increase their market awareness, that kind of stuff. But there is some simple benefit. You don't need to be throwing numbers at them just yet. Okay, who's tracking with me so far, right? I haven't lost anybody. I know this is all pretty simple. Third thing is you want to give context, how long you've been doing it, how long you've been at this, something of that nature. But okay, so how long, or what do you want to draw their attention to in terms of order of magnitude? How senior are you? How junior are you, right? I've spent the last 9 years, 4 years. I've spent my entire career, right? Some of us have been working over 30 years. I might say I spent my entire career, something like that. Doing what? Working as a consultant, accountant, sales engineer, helping, whatever, right? So something of that nature, you want to give them an order of magnitude of what it is that you've done. I've spent the last 7 years coaching and training people on how to find jobs they love, kind of thing. So you're wrapping together some type of context. That's the third component. And then the fourth component is, all right, well, what actually happened? What actually happened? So you told me what you intend to happen. And during that time, what? I've helped more than 50,000 customers. Boom. I've helped millions of people get better at interviewing. I've helped my organization sell millions of dollars of. Right? I've worked for a marketing agency and I've helped my clients attain an average increase of X% in brand awareness because of me, kind of thing, right? So I've made this world a better place, and now I'm giving you some context. Now, let me pause here for a second. A lot of you, I know, because you follow me faithfully, and I just love that, you've gone to the Andy LaCivita School of Resume Writing. So now we're not through with the intro yet, but what does this sound like? Does this sound like the career profile, the career summary that you put at the top of your resume? Now, it's not exactly the career profile, but it has a lot of the same elements. And wouldn't it stand to reason that that's the first thing you want them to see when they get your resume? And so you definitely want to get some kind of impact. Now, remember, this is an intro. You're not eating the whole elephant in one bite. You don't have to tell them your life story in 1 minute, right? But you want to insert some type of high-level benefit. As a consultant, I've helped more than 200 companies streamline their business processes and systems. I might have said that when I was a consultant, an IT consultant, something like that. It's a huge roll-up. It's just for context. All I'm saying in my introduction is I've helped a lot of people. Or I helped 150 people with that. I've helped over 200 companies recruit if I was going to go that route in my intro, kind of thing. All right. So who's tracking with me? Let me see a couple of these struggles. Kara is sending me some struggles to introduce you. Cisco Maldonado. I love that name and I love that guy. Establishing quick rapport. Ian. The big struggle is cutting out the things I care about to sharpen the message. Okay, now remember, this is a great point because remember, you saw these 4 things, right? I'm a whatever, who helps, this and that, right? I've spent a bunch of time, and here's what's happened as a result of the time I spent. Now remember, You don't win the interview in the first minute. You're just trying to get them open, welcoming, and excited about who you are. You have plenty of time, Ian, to insert what it is that you've accomplished throughout the interview. Aylin, stating my accomplishments, I cringe whenever I feel boastful, and I definitely don't exaggerate my accomplishments. It's just that a few are difficult to believe. So we make them believable. All right, let's keep working toward this. All right, now, what's one of the biggest things you got to accomplish in the interview? Right? Show of hands. Show of hands. What's one of the biggest things you got to accomplish in the interview? And Ian was sort of getting there with things I care about, but the things you should care about in an interview are not what you've accomplished. The things you should care about is, how do I connect the skills that I have with what they need? So what absolutely needs to be in the intro? My primary focus is implementing large-scale IT solutions. My primary focus is implementing CRM IT solutions for large healthcare companies. My primary focus is digital marketing for small to medium businesses in the whatever space. Now, your primary focus can be my primary specialty, my primary expertise, my whatever, and it could be depending on what it is you need to highlight. Now, let's talk about this one here for a minute. It could be the solution line, it could be the industry, or it could be your function or your market or whatever. So it could be, I want to highlight my technical experience in a particular industry because I know that I have IT experience for healthcare and this is a healthcare company. But I might have IT experience in healthcare and I'm interviewing with a financial services company. In that case, you want to harp on my primary area of expertise is IT solutions for large scale, blah, blah, with lots of data, lots of customers, lots of whatever. Doesn't really matter what industry it is. So you downplay that. So you want to make the adjustment because the introduction is what? I'm sure I'm going to say this a half a dozen times. It's not about you. It's about telling someone what they need to know about you. And it's knowing them and knowing their problems. And so the more in tune you are with the problems they face, the better you'll be able to not only introduce yourself, but then in the next couple days, I'm going to talk to you about how do you marry up the stories that match their problems. But it's the same and it all starts with the intro. Okay, that's step 5. And then step 6 is you want to make sure that you pull in a reference to your resume. So as you can see from my resume, and then whatever your best grouping is, and let me give you an idea of what I mean by grouping. Again, looking at their job description, looking at some other things, we're going to go deep on this tomorrow, but looking at the job description and recognizing what that organization does, what is it likely that they need the most? And what do you want to highlight that's on your resume in one sentence? Okay, you're not going to walk them through the resume yet. You're warming them up, right? So as you can see from my resume, I've generally worked for startups, so I know the types of issues you face. As you can see from my resume, I'm currently working at Google. As you can see from my resume, I've generally worked at large blue chip international organizations. So your large scale initiatives I'm very in tune with those. I'm familiar with the types of challenges they present. That's a best grouping. Okay. So now for every single one of you, if I met with every single one of you, I would have a different way of articulating this reference to my resume. Whatever sells you the best. So you're going to say, well, should I say this or that? I don't know. Today you might say this, and tomorrow or next week at a different interview, you might say that. So you don't turn this thing off. I'm going to give you the sentence structure, but don't turn your brain off. It's all about matching, okay? And then the last thing, and I also have a degree from Harvard in economics. I also have a whatever. I've also worked for other companies where I've held various accounting positions. I also am multilingual, bilingual. I speak 7 languages. I also have all the PMP or PMI certifications, and only 6 other people in the world have those. Whatever you want to call their attention to, it's the last thing you're going to say. Okay? So, are we tracking? That's how you introduce yourself. Now, I spent 17 minutes explaining how you're going to do something in. How long do you think it will take you to do that? Go in the chat, give me a number. That's the number of minutes that I want you to take a guess that you should be spending doing this. Now, obviously, that sounds disjointed, but how long do you think that'll take? This I can't wait for. This I can't wait to see. Oh, I love some of these. Oh, mine. Oh, my. Wait, let's, give me what do you think? 1 minute. Oh, look at you guys. 1 minute. Who thinks 1 minute? Adrian? Ernie, 3 minutes. Schnell, 2 to 3. Suzanne, 1. Jay, 2. Okay, all right, you guys got this. That's right. Joshua Kirby, 8 minutes. No. Come on, man. I taught you better than that. All right, wait, that's great. About 1 minute. About 1 minute, okay? So let's take a look at, I want you guys to check this out. I gave the boot campers a kind of a full-blown booklet on this. And but here, so this is basically what I just gave you, so you can kind of see it clean. So I'm whatever I am, I'm a career coach who helps people find jobs and thrive in them. I've spent the last 7 years, right, building an executive leadership coaching and career coaching business that has over 50,000 students, paying students from 179 countries or something like that, right? During that time, what have I done? And my primary focus is, and as you can see from my resume, and the other thing you need to know about me is, okay, so who's tracking? That's about, I would say that's about a minute. And now remember, you're going to know you. You're going to streamline what you're going to say in order to open it up. And the usage of this is when you're going to say hello, when they say, tell me about yourself, this can be the opener that gives them an outline of areas that they might want to dig deeper in. So there's a lot of ways to play it, right? You can say, hey, I'd love to share me with you. Is there anything about my background you'd love to know? Or you could dive into this, spend a minute, explain this, and then actually go from there. And then say, and I'd be happy to expand on any other details of my background that you'd love to know. But this way, what you're doing, my way of starting your intro this way, is you could go into the interview, shake hands, high five, fist bump, or elbow bump, or whatever the heck we're doing these days, and then say, hey, my name's Tom. Great to meet you. They say, hey, Tom, this is great. Tell me a little about you. You can just spend a minute and do what I said there, and then pause and say, that's it in a nutshell. I'd love to tell you more, and I'd love to be able to kind of shine a light on areas of my background that would help you to know if I'm a great fit for the organization. Is there anything in particular you'd like me to spend more time on? Or something like that. You can go that route. But it's a way of getting out and laying down all the breadcrumbs. Now, here's what I want to do. This is the part I'm most excited about, by the way. I almost wanted to rush through the talk because I want to talk to these two. I solicited volunteers, brave souls from my job search coaching program. We call them the boot campers. So it used to be called the Job Search Boot Camp. And I asked them if any of them wanted to get with me today at the public live show and kind of be hot seaters for us, kind of come up and, give me your resume. I have not looked at their resumes other than to pull them up and frame them into the the screen share I'm going to show you. The team picked out the individuals from a host of volunteers. And then what we're going to do is we're going to spend some time with them here. Flavia, whose birthday was yesterday. Make sure you give her a happy birthday when she comes up. And O'Neill. And I'm going to do that in the public setting here, and then we're going to go into a Q&A for a while, and then after this, we're going to continue with more of these in the private group coaching session that we've been doing these for the last 3 or 4 months or so. It's been a lot of fun. All right, so first thing I want to do is I have to change some settings here to make sure that I have everything that I need where I need it. And Flavia, let me just make sure. Give us a second, folks. I have to change some audio settings and other things here to make sure that nothing burps at us. And I just want to get ready for her here. Hold on one second. The input is good. Changed the input on me. Hold on. Okay, that should be okay, and the output should be good. Okay, Flavia, are you here with me? You want to say hello? Yeah. Let's add you up on the screen with me.
Hello, everybody.
Let me make sure I can hear you. Give me a sound check.
Everybody can hear me?
I can hear you. Okay, there's a little echo, but that's okay. This should be no problem. Okay, can we all give her a huge shout out? And team, I want to let you know I can't see you because I'm flying blind here because my screen's got so many screens up, and I just pulled up her resume, and I want to give Flavia a chance just to say hello and give you just a tiny bit of information about her, because I'm going to go through her resume and then I'm going to introduce her, and hopefully I don't flub this all up. So you want to say hello, Flavia?
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Flavia. I'm from Portugal. I work with marketing, and I have a little trouble putting all my experience, broad experience, in one sentence, or 1 minute. That's my problem.
Okay, so it's a little hard to figure out what to get in there and, get it out, get it quick. All right, so let's pull up her resume, and let me tell you what I see in her resume, and then I'm going to try to capture here what it is that I would like to share with you here. Okay, hang on, give me one second. Let me move this about. All right. Okay, hang on. All right, so I'm going to switch settings. How's this? Oh, that's O'Neill. Hang on. Wait, you're going to see him next. We were doing the test runs. There we go. That's Flavia. Okay. All right. So this is her resume that I absolutely smiled on, because it is just the format wise, I noticed it was just how I like it. So first thing I see when I come to the resume is I look at, did she give me a 1 second test? And she did. She passed the 1 second test. So I know she's in marketing, and she's telling me I got 20 years. Fantastic. I work in various industries. Okay. SaaS sectors, not okay. So it's got a lot. I'm looking at the whole core competencies. This is the next thing I look at. It has everything that I would imagine a marketing person does, and I can see that she's using current terminology like content marketing and all that good stuff. So she probably, over her 20 years, has evolved. This is assumptions. By the way, this is what's going through Andy's mind the first moments he sees a resume. So I'm guessing she has some evolution. Wonderful. She's got expansion of revenue by helping secure multiple clients. Wonderful. Optimizing productivity. Agile. Great. And here she goes. What is the number one thing a marketer does, no matter who the marketer is or what their function is? It's to increase brand awareness. So we want to get that somewhere in the intro. Then let's see. She's okay. Now, Lift Consulting. I don't know Lift Consulting in Portugal. That's no big deal. What is it? She's telling me. Oh, boom. Agency. I got it. Digital strategist, team manager, PR. Okay, good evolution. Wonderful. Been there 10 years. 10 years. I can see all that. She's showed me where she achieved whatever she achieved. Fantastic. So far, so good. Okay, I don't know Torque either. Doesn't matter, because she told me it's a boutique marketing firm. Okay, so what I know right now, then I look at the year. All right, now I know that from 2008 till today, so that's what, 14 years, She's been doing this. Then she tells me, oh, wait, hang on. I've got some other stuff that I've done. Okay, so then what I did, when she groups these like this, folks, in this section, when you do a grouping like this, here's what a recruiter does. Additional experience. What did she do? Because at this point, we're talking about something that's 15 years old or older, okay? Social media marketing, beautiful. Public relations, good. PR, awesome. Okay, I get it. Wide breadth, evolution, primarily the most relevant experience is through agencies, which also registers with me that she's probably handled multiple accounts. Okay, these are assumptions. Now, I don't know. This is the first time I'm seeing this resume. She's educated. That's great. Oh, look at this. Social comms. Okay, so, not only does she have marketing, but she also has the type of degree that completely is in alignment with what she's doing. She's got some certs. I don't know what those are. Doesn't even matter. And then she is 3 languages, which is 2 more than Andy has. Okay, so Flavia, the only thing I could say is, good God, am I going to interview you for the Mile Academy thing? This is a really, really well-designed resume. All right, so now, in the interest of kind of piecing this together, how would I introduce you? I would say, shortest words possible. I'm a marketing executive. That's it. I get it. Right? Okay, so I'm a marketing executive. Then what's your I'm gonna need my note cards here. Who helps, right? Companies, what's the number one thing a marketer does? Increase brand awareness. And she talked about growing the client base, 0 to 15, I saw somewhere, right? So who helps companies increase their brand awareness and secure more customers using, what's her area of specialty? Digital strategy. Digital strategy techniques. And I've spent, how long? 14 years working for prominent marketing agencies. 2 prominent agencies is even a better way to sell yourself, because 14 years in 2 organizations mean you have longevity. And what? Yep. And during that time, I've helped, now here's where you get a number in. I don't know how many clients you've helped, but let's just, I'm going to make numbers up. How many?
Okay, more than 20.
More than 20. I've helped 20 of my clients' companies raise their brand awareness on average by whatever, 99%. She can put whatever number she wants in there, but to show there's lift, no pun intended, to increasing brand awareness. Now, she doesn't have to justify all that right now. She's just introducing herself. My primary specialty or my primary area of expertise is developing digital strategies and content for. What do you do with it? I saw somewhere in here you said Facebook and blogs. Okay, running, what do you do? So I increase brand awareness, then the technique I use is developing digital strategies and content and running what? Organic and paid ads. Online social media ads, something like that. You can put in if you want to give them a flavor. Then you go to as you can see from my resume, I've also held various marketing positions such as social media marketer, public relations, whatever, and you just generalize it, because now what you're doing is you're trying to show them the breadth, right? And so as you can see from my resume, I've held various positions. You kick those out. I also have, right, here's the last one. I also have a BA in social comms with a journalism concentration, or whatever you want to say, a handful of relevant certifications. I also speak 3 languages. I'm assuming Spanish is your native tongue?
No,
English?
Portuguese.
Okay,
No,
I speak 4 languages, 5, however many it is. I speak multiple languages. Portuguese is my native tongue, but I also speak English, Spanish, and French fluently. And to cap it off, you would be a fool not to hire me. Right, kind of thing. All right, so wait. So hang on. So now, now here's where I'm really worried about myself. I'm going to try. Okay, I got it in my head. I got what I want to say. All right, now let's see. Let's see how long this takes. I know I'm going to flub this one up. All right, hang on. I got the full view of the resume in my screen, folks. All right, you ready? Who thinks I'm going to get it done? Go in the chat. All right. My name is Flavia. I'm a marketing executive who helps companies increase their brand awareness and secure more customers using digital strategy techniques. During that time, I've helped 20 of my company's clients increase their brand awareness by 99%. My primary specialty is developing digital strategies and content and executing organic and paid advertising campaigns. As you can see from my resume, I've also worked in various marketing capacities, including social media marketer and public relations. And finally, I have a BA in social communications and journalism, a handful of relevant certifications, and I also speak 4 languages. Portuguese is my native tongue, and I speak English, Spanish, and French fluently. 93 seconds. And that's me on the fly. So okay, that's not too bad. All right, wait. So does that sound like you?
Yes, very much. And
what would you change? What do you want to change?
I will not change. No, nothing. It's perfect.
All right, so you could take that and you could actually put in like the real numbers, right? Because you could go through this, and you could actually put in the real numbers. And then here, wait, Flavia, hang on. Let me get rid of the timer. So over here, okay, wait. So let's just kind of recap this before we bring O'Neill up. I love all this feedback on the resume. You can pull up you're a marketer. You can pull up some numbers to the top. Okay, so you can add them up there. This all looks great, and I love it. The core competencies, it's what I expect. Okay, good highlights. All this other stuff is great. You really did a great job, kind of following the protocols of the workshop. Just really nice job here. I love all of this. But just so you know, you don't need to, if you don't want, you don't have to bold all this other stuff over here. It's not a big deal. And everything else looks great. I guess before we send you off with a huge thank you, any other questions?
No, it's your tip. That's why you like it. But that's perfect. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome. Can we all give her a huge hand? That was fantastic. Flavia, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. How did you guys, how did you like that? Was that pretty? Wait, could you imagine if I had like days with that? So that's pretty good. Now that the team did a nice job picking the raw material here, and Flavia's great, and that is a really good job from her. Very sweet. All right, hang on. Let me move a few other things around. I got another guy for you. Let's see. Hang on, O'Neill. There you go. Okay. O'Neill, can you come and you want to come join us?
Yes. Hi, Andy.
How you doing? Good to see you again. Hey, give us a minute or two on you, man. Just say hello, introduce yourself, where you're from, generally what do you do?
Hi, everybody. I am O'Neill Alvarado. I am originally from Venezuela. I am a corporate attorney who has worked more than 13 years in public multinational companies supporting...
Okay, wait, don't give it all away. Don't give it all away.
Okay, that's it.
All right, so wait. I know you live in Panama City. So correct. What's your... okay, wait, so they know you're a lawyer. I know you're a lawyer. They know you're a lawyer. And I got your resume up, and I'm loving your format too. What's your biggest struggle?
I think that the biggest struggle is when the interviewer asks you to go through your experience in details and not to be so long. Okay, I mean, try to brief that.
Okay. No, wait. That's really good, because who would agree with him? Show of hands here, right? Thumbs up on that. Who would agree with him? Because one of the most common questions I get, just like what you said, is how long should it be, right? And so we've kind of established that you could get a lot in 1 minute, not, or sorry, 57 seconds or whatever it took me, not 93 seconds like I saw on the timer. But O'Neill, that's a great issue that a lot of people have. And I would think a lot of folks, Maria Gabriela Rodriguez Moncada, I love that name. She's clapping. Flavia's in there. Oh, that's so great. You guys are fantastic. All right. So
also, Andy, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
And also, when the interviewer asks you tell me about yourself, sometimes they want you to go through your experience or to be brief and try to interpret and to understand what they want.
So one of the things you can do, now that we've established, because we kind of went through with Flavia, you can say, okay, you know what? Let me give you a minute on me, and then you can help me dig deeper in the areas that you find most helpful. I'll give you just some highlights and a summary about me, and then you go in and let's now take a look at your resume. And let me make sure I'm going to swap the camera, and I'm going to have to swap Flavia out and change it. Okay, Flavia, I will see you later. We're pulling in O'Neill here in my little camera there. Okay, there you go. We good there? All right, he's looking good. I've got O'Neill's resume up. He also goes to the Andy LaCivita School of Resume Writing, which is why I love this resume. All right, so first thing, senior executive attorney. Okay, so now that right there, I know he's a lawyer, but I don't know what he does yet. But I'm sure it won't be far behind. 20 years, I can see it. Legal and compliance. Okay, in-house, thank you. All right, so I need to know if he's corporate counsel. He is. Big companies, he has. Pharma, consumer goods, apparel, retail, let's call it. Built and managed global manufacturing, lead compliance departments. Okay, so he runs the department. Many facilities, 2,000, I looked at the number here, right? I looked for a number, I should say. Contracts. All right, so he's negotiated or manages a lot of contracts. That makes sense. And he must have seen just about every compliance requirement known to man. All right, so in the core competency section, same kind of thing. He pulls out, okay, these are the big ones: ethics, data, privacy, environment, M&A, and all that other stuff. And he, like Flavia, is also multilingual. Okay, so now I'm looking at the highlights. Eliminated legal exposure. So I'm assuming this means that you either help them comply. You can clarify this for me, by the way, O'Neill. You either clarified or avoided litigation by doing something that put the organization into compliance. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
You're right.
And go with me just on my layman's understanding here, because you can obviously tailor this. All right. Generated some budget savings. I love it. By reducing the number of resources in general. And then the other thing that I'm looking for is this. Okay, so anytime I see a compliance lawyer or somebody who's focusing on that, I'm going to want to know, how did you actually reduce the risks, and what percentage did you take off the board? So he gives me a number. Now, I'll use that. I would use that in your introduction. I'll use it in some form. You can clean it up, when you use it. All right, so now I want to look at his companies. Canopy Growth, obviously I don't know who they are. It's a Canadian organization. It's pharma. Awesome. It's big. Okay, great. Gildan Activewear. All right, like he said, apparel. Colgate-Palmolive. Okay, he works for some really big boy and big girl companies here. And, okay, something that's new to me, I didn't know he has media expertise. Okay, so that's great. Media and entertainment or whatever it is, great. He's educated. I'm sure he's got a law degree of some kind. And here's something that I'm noticing that was recent. So that's something I might want to pull out in an intro, especially if it enhances compliance, because in here he's only going to get so much compliance law, and then in practice he'll have expertise. But it's nice to know that he can call somebody's attention to additional specialization, certifications, or whatever that it is in that realm. Okay, so if I had to look at his background and try to piece together the things that I would want to say, I would say, instead of executive attorney, I would probably introduce myself as a legal and compliance attorney, because that is what your bread and butter is. I love that you've worked for large organizations. So who helps? what are you helping? You're helping large organizations stay compliant, right? And I want to keep them compliant. I want to avoid litigation. And I want you to work in, because these are such large organizations and they're global, you want to talk about that I do this on an international level and a regional level. So what that does is that gives you heft. That says, okay, he's global, right? That's big. And then you can say something like, I've done that for various industries, or I've spent I've spent my entire career, or my 30 years, or however it is, working for blue chip organizations in whatever kind of industries, right? Pharmaceuticals, consumer products, and entertainment. I would probably pull that in there as well, even if and if you don't need it, you could just say, across 4 industries or something like that. And then I would hit your highlights. So during that time, I've helped those companies, those big blue chip companies, right, avoid 30 million in legal exposure and reduced 90% of all the compliance risks. Or you can aggregate it, because it's 1 to 100, right? Or something of that nature. And then what I would say is I would call their attention to the specialty. My specialty is, or my primary focus is, or my primary of expertise is helping companies with their, a lot of contracts, so contract management, and anything related to compliance, whether it's, so because you do everything under the sun related to compliance, everything related to compliance, whether it's whatever the biggies are, ethics, data, privacy, M&A, or whatever you, and then you could cherry pick to make sure that you call their attention to the areas that they have the most issues with. If they were looking to hire you and they said, hey, our biggest issue is M&As and we're growing, we're growing through M&As, we need somebody who really understands this, you can call their attention to that. And then what I would say is, then here's where I would wrap the grouping for you is big international companies. So as you can see from my resume, I generally help large organizations or international organizations, so I'm comfortable with large scale issues that come along with compliance for these sized companies. So you reiterate, and then your other thing is you can talk about, much like Flavia did, but you could head down and say, and as you can see from my resume, because you already called their attention to the companies that were on your resume, as you can see from my resume, I recently attained a specialization in compliance from George Washington last year, and I also speak multiple, if that's a, if you're in your hometown, that's probably not a big issue. But if you're not, if you're going, to somebody who's outside of, or if you're going to an organization outside of your homeland, you might want to throw it in. How's that sound? Does that sound like you?
It sounds very good.
Should we try to do the timer? Should we try to see how long that takes me?
Yes.
Want to do the timer? Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see if I can. Here we go. How do I do here? All right, hang on. Give me the loop back. All right, so see if I can remember all that. As long as I have my crutches. Okay, I'm a senior legal and compliance attorney who helps large organizations stay compliant and avoid litigation related to international and regional corporation or corporate regulations. I've spent my entire career working for blue chip companies across a few industries, including pharmaceuticals, consumer products, retail, and entertainment. And during that time, the couple of big things that I've done is I've helped those companies avoid $30 million in legal exposure, as well as ensuring that I reduce their compliance risk by 90%. My specialty is helping companies in their developing and managing their contracts, as well as anything related to compliance, such as mergers and acquisition, tax, ethics, data, and privacy. As you can see from my resume, I generally help large global organizations, so I'm comfortable with the compliance issues that go along with that. And I recently attained my specialization in compliance from George Washington University. Something like that. How much over a minute was I?
I think that it was like 5 seconds.
Okay, so not too many. All right, so that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's try to get this. So how do you feel about that? Does that sound like you?
Yes, it sounds like me.
It does.
Like
any questions? Any tweaks? Anything
so,
you?
Yeah, I just only want to share something that usually when I finish that, I try to ask the interviewer, okay, do you want me to go deeper in a detail I mentioned? It's something I usually do.
Okay.
Also, I think that it's very important to know very well the job description, because at the end of the day, you want to emphasize what are your skills that are related or relate to their problems to the job function. I think that is something crucial for, very important in any interview at this point. Following your teach.
Yeah. Wait, that's really, hold on. Don't skate over what he just said there. So I gave you a construct, right? I gave him a construct. I gave you all a construct. But you would be putting in and taking out the components of your background that most closely align to what that organization needs, right? So what I gave you there, O'Neill, right? You could take, because all those things that are related to compliance, you could cherry pick those. You can cherry pick your emphasis and understanding and what you highlight as far as the industries you know, or the functions within the industries that you know. And so all of this is malleable depending on, again, where you're going. It is about who you are, but what supersedes who you are is where you're going and who you're going to be for them, if that makes sense. Really great job, buddy. I really appreciate you. I really do. Thanks for being such a great member.
Thanks to you.
Come on, stop it. All right, I'm gonna let you go. I know you're a busy man. Go get that meeting in order. All right, let me get back. Let me get back to me. I'll let you go. Thanks a million. Appreciate that.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye,
All
everybody.
right, you're welcome. All right, and let's give Flavia and O'Neill a huge shout out. I'm gonna let you both go, and and O'Neill, if you got time and you want to come to the boot camp session after your meeting, please do. And Flavia, I will see you there. Okay. All right, take care. Thanks a million. Appreciate you guys. Okay. All right, so folks, that should give you a. Hang on one second. Let me get this reset for me. Give me a second here. That should output my display. Let me get that muted. Hang on. Whoop. And let's make sure. Okay. All right, we're all good. Give me a sound. I got more windows and buttons and other. You know I thought I was gonna hit the wrong key or something. All right, so I hope that helps. And what we're gonna do now. All right, so if you're watching this, if we've clipped this out on a recording, I just want to recap for those, and then we're gonna go to the Q&A for those here. Okay, so again. I'm whatever your verb noun combo is. Who helps, whatever you do, the people, the companies, the communities, who helps, and then whatever they do. I've been doing that for forever because I'm an old gray-haired guy. So for how long in context? During that time, what's the impact you made? Try to get some high-level number or something in there to give you context, to give you heft, to give them context about your grandness. My primary specialty is pick the one that matters the most. As you can see from my resume, and then I also do what, have attained what, other things that are germane. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. I really do. If you are still watching this and it's on a record, can you hit the thumbs up button, please? And it really would help to send YouTube a signal that you enjoyed this if you got value out of it. And if you're watching this on a recording, maybe later today or at some future point, check out the next one, which is coming tomorrow on selecting the right stories. Otherwise, I'll see you.